Hello guys, and welcome to Let's Talk. As you guys can see, the scenery is different. So I have with me my sister and I have Naya. So Naya, do you want to tell us something about yourself, like a hobby or...
Hi, my name is Naya. I don't know, I guess the most interesting thing about myself would be I'm a freelance artist. So
Ooh,
you know,
nice.
check me out.
Yes. Check her out.
But yeah, that's about it. I don't know what to say about me.
Okay. Thank you for being able to be in our video today. So today we're just gonna talk about like light language. My sister and I really don't know anything much about it. So do you mind just like telling us like what it is and you know?
Alright, so light language, listen, I didn't know what it was until it happened to me, but what I've learned is that it's basically like a language that like comes from like your soul. So basically you're speaking, it's in tongues, so like no actual like words or vocabulary or anything, but it's just a matter of like feeling and I don't know, it's supposed to like talking to your soul, like it's multi-dimensional language. Yeah.
So like how did you first like hear about it? Like did you hear about it? Did you see a post or...
Woo! Okay, so what had happened is one day I was meditating, doing one of those like healing bath things that they be talking about, right? So I'm like, you know, doing myself a nice bath or whatever, did the crystals, right, and then after my during my healing bath, I don't know, things were happening. Like I was in the bath and then all of a sudden like I don't know, my body just started like vibrating would be like the best way to describe it. It's like you could feel just like things happening, like I don't know, like, and then all of a sudden like I guess like during the meditation I kind of like lost composure, I guess, of my body in a way where it's like I was moving but then I wasn't really moving and it wasn't me, but then at the very end of everything, like I said, like I don't know, episode, it was weird. I don't know, after the episode I literally got up out of the bathtub and started I just started speaking tongue. I started singing. I actually have some like recordings. But like literally I started speaking tongues, singing, and then later that night I was on TikTok and I was scrolling, and then I came across a girl. She was speaking the same exact thing, right? And I'm like, yo, hold on, what's this? So then I click on it and then I find out it's this thing called light language, and I get like, you know, I get excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody else out here is that. So then I'm like, okay, cool. So that's how I found out what that was, and yeah, that's I didn't know what it was before it happened.
Yeah. Did you feel like scared or like was it like exciting? Like what was like your emotions like around the whole thing?
I'm someone that just naturally throws caution to the wind, so I was not scared. I wasn't scared. Yeah. But it was just more so like curious. Like I wasn't hurting or anything, like my body physically wasn't in any pain. It wasn't like I was doing some crazy gymnast backwards. Not like, you know. I don't know, the best, because it's so weird because after you do it, like it feels like a relief.
So did you ever have like a bad experience with light language or...
Yeah, so I guess, okay, one day I was with one of my friends and I was at his house and I was like, you know what, let me show you what I can do. So I'm like, okay, so I got ready. I actually had my crystals, everything with me. I started meditating and I got into my meditative state. And then I don't know, just after I started practicing it for a little bit, I just kind of like was able to just, I don't know. This time though, like I don't know, I could so tell it wasn't me speaking, because usually sometimes in light language it's like comfortable or like it feels, but this time it felt wrong and it felt uncomfortable. So basically like it was almost like someone was just trying to speak and I couldn't get my tongue back. It would like would be the best way to describe it. It's like, and it made me like myself, this is the first time I actually felt uncomfortable doing it, and I was actually shooken up because it just didn't feel right, and I had to struggle just a little bit to you know, come back. But other than that it seemed peaches and cream. But that was my most terrifying experience. Then after that, I just kind of chilled with it for a little because I was just like, I don't know who and what I'm channeling. I'm not inviting anything in. I don't have the time, so I stopped.
Yeah. So like, do you have any like advice to give to people who may be like, you know, going through this and maybe realizing that maybe they're uncomfortable? Like, do you have any advice to give them, or?
I would say don't be like me. Please know what you're getting into. I just think that my lack of knowledge and understanding of everything that was happening is what directed me to not the best case scenario. So I would say just make sure whatever you're doing, especially in the spiritual realm, be careful. I would say just be wary, be cautious, and light language itself does open up yourself and more accessible to things in the spiritual world. So just protect yourself. Protect yourself, please, because spiritual warfare is a real thing.
Did you ever have like any encounters with anything spiritual?
I guess shortly after, like, okay, so I was like into the new age, light language, all that stuff, and then one night, I'm pretty sure I told you guys, but I was like lying in bed, and one night, like shortly, like in the waters of me doing all this stuff, okay, I was laying in bed one night, and like, I guess people would describe it as I almost had almost like an out of body experience, kind of like, but it wasn't astral projection, and it wasn't lucid dreaming, and it wasn't sleep paralysis, and it was like a weird combination of the three, where I was completely paralyzed on my bed, but then and I woke up. I thought that I was conscious. I don't know, I still can't explain it, but then I felt as if I was tugging, like it was like a tug of war almost for like my body, like I felt like I could feel myself coming out of myself. If that again, if you done this stuff, you know what it feels like. You literally feel yourself, like, you know, and I felt as if I had like pull literally myself back in, like, I don't know. Yeah, that, oh gosh, that, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I didn't. So then I was like, so I was looking at my hands, my arms weren't there, then my body was stinging. I was like moving.
Could you like see yourself on the bed, or?
I've done that before, but no. In this case scenario, no. It was like I was fighting with not having myself out of me. Like I literally, because at one point I couldn't see my hands, so I was trying to move them, but I was like, I couldn't feel this happening. So then I was like, okay. So I was laying here and I was basically just saying, okay, like, I breathe, calm down, but I could still feel things. It was
so eventually it just like went away.
Yeah, like eventually I gained back control of like my body, and I woke up, and then I went right back to bed because I had sleep to catch. So but yeah, I think that would be like. But in regards to like seeing any entities or feel, like I felt a lot of things around, like when I was in the new age stuff, like you can literally feel when things are around you. Anyway, so I felt but I never saw. I've never encountered any archangels. A lot of people have seen stuff like that. I stopped before I could get too deep. So but yeah, I haven't seen anything that I haven't seen in a horror movie, nothing too crazy. Yeah,
I know, definitely like those experiences can be scary. I know for me, the first time I had an experience like that, I was in my bed and I know I was sleeping, and then all of a sudden I just felt like this dark presence like around me, right? And like obviously like it scared me because like I was sleeping in my bed, like I'm not expecting a dark presence, right? And then like I'm just like, oh shoot, like what am I gonna do, whatever. Like I don't honestly, I don't remember if my eyes were open or not. Like I'm pretty sure they were closed, but you can't really tell because your room's so dark anyways. And like I was just like, I don't know, it's just like this feeling that like comes over you, and then I was laying there and just like, and I'm just like, Jesus, help me. And then like in my head I can hear the thing was saying like, oh, like that's not gonna work, like this and this and that, or like something. It was like it wasn't actually like a voice, but like it was in my head, like I could hear something being like, what you're doing is not working, like what you're doing is not working, right? And I was just like praying, I was just like praying, like it felt like I prayed till morning break, like I'm not joking. Like I was like I felt like I was wrestling with something, like, and like once like I tried to get a breakthrough, it would just come even stronger, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, like, I was just like, God, like, I've been praying to you. Like, I don't know what else I can do. Help me. And that's when, like, it just went away. It just went away. But, like, honestly, it was such a scary experience for me just because, like, I've never experienced something like that before in my life. So, like, I do want to say, like, to the people out there, like, don't think that there's stuff out there. Like, that's like literally what it is. Like, there's stuff out there and you really need to, like, know yourself and like guard yourself, because so quickly, like, it can engulf you. Like, if I wasn't, like, I personally think, like, me praying is what helped me. But, like, honestly, like, if I didn't pray, I don't know what would have happened that night, because I felt like I was going to be taken. Like, and it's not a dream. Like, I know for a fact it wasn't a dream. Like, you know, like, it wasn't a dream. So, like, I think, like, one of, like, the main takeaways, like, you really just, like, you have to guard yourself. Like, you really have to guard yourself.
Honestly.
Keisha, you have anything to add?
I've never had one of those experiences.
Wow, you've never had, like,
I felt dark presence, but normally it goes away with a prayer. Like, you can't just pray in your head, you have to pray out loud, because, like, obviously, like, the dark forces can't, like, read your mind. Like, you need to say it, like, yeah, and I don't know, it, like, I have felt dark presence, but they haven't lasted where I've been, like, battling with them. It's kind of just, like, Jesus! Yeah.
Lucky you.
Right?
I think it's hard because, like, all the celebrities, especially, like, Catherine from the Ace family, she's, like, really, really deep into it, and she has, like, she always has her crystals and, like, the cards.
I used to do tarot for a little bit.
Yeah. And, like, I guess everyone looks at it as such a positive thing that they don't know that there's, like, something underneath it, because so many people are doing it. So obviously when you, like, you think what you're doing is normal, like, it's normal for you to be feeling that way.
And anytime something becomes mainstream, it's a concern, especially when celebrities start promoting it, a concern. But I was just gonna say, like, with the, like, because celebrities, everyone makes it seem good, but I just definitely needs to be your intent. Like, you can't go into things with egotistical wants or needs. If you go into spirituality, meditation, anything in that resort, you'll drive yourself in the wrong direction. And I think a lot of people are using spirituality in any sense, whether it be you're religious, and if a lot of people are going into it with wanting something out of it, like, it's not like with the better, like, because I went into it with genuinely wanting to better myself, because I thought, like, that was the way, because I have a lot of trauma and, like, things I want to work through, so I thought that was the way, whatever. But then there did come a time where I realized, reflecting back on it, where my ego did take the lead, and that's when things got a little shaky.
When was that moment that you're like, oh, I need to, like...
The minute that, like, the thing tried to take me out of my body, I said, hold on. No. And that's when I really did take a step back, and I realized that I got myself deeper into things that I didn't really understand, and I just took a step back. I stopped using my crystals and stuff. They're there for decorations. I spent money, so they gonna sit. But yeah, energy is something that especially your own, it's really something you can't play around with, and your vessel, like, you can't mess around with, like, your body. Don't, like, you know, especially your spirit, your soul and stuff. So after that whole experience, and after channeling a weird type of energy, I was just like, yeah, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's not do that. So that was just my experience, because I don't know, because then there's other people out here that are well deep, but then they seem like they're okay, but, like, seem is, like, the word.
Yeah. Do you think, like, maybe your personality or maybe something else played into the role of, like, you being like, hey, like, this is not for me? Or
so I guess, like, the moments, it's like, because I was watching myself throughout the whole thing, because as I said, before I got into, like, spirituality, I've been really big on, like, I guess, like, those self-help books and, like, knowing how to just your thoughts and controlling your thoughts and stuff like that. So I'm very, I guess I would call myself self-aware, you know, to an extent, like, I try to be. So reflecting and watching myself throughout the process, at the beginning, it was genuine intent to, of course, want to do better, because I always want to be a better person, so I can stop hurting people around me, right?
So, unfortunately, guys, we had the whole thing recorded, but the file accidentally got deleted, and we aren't able to retrieve it. So we're just going to kind of summarize the rest of the video and also give our side of the story. So you guys previously heard Naya's side of the story, so we're going to give our side of the story. So Alicia, do you want to start?
Okay, so basically in the footage that was lost, Naya was just explaining how she's still searching for a religion that she wants to stick to. She did consider Christianity, and she did say that there was a lot of benefits to Christianity, but she's still just trying to work through it and figure out which religion and what belief she wants to stick to. That was basically the ending.
So basically, like when this was going on, like when Naya gave her story, we were also like praying for her as well, because as we all know, like spiritual warfare is a real thing and it is hard to like get out of. So during the time when like she was battling with that, we were praying for her.
So Naya is someone who's very aware of what's going on in the world around her, and I realized that she started to post a lot of controversial things, stuff that like, oh, the government is trying to control us, stuff like that. So I messaged her, I was like, oh, you're very aware of what's going on in the world, like this is what it says in the Bible about last day events that are going to happen. And she was very receptive to that, and we were able to have a discussion, but it more or less ended on I'm gonna believe what I'm gonna believe, you believe what you're gonna believe, but thank you for the information. Like, it was a new perspective to look at. So that was basically it. And then about a month later, I saw that she posted this video of her doing light language, and that was the video that we inserted into this video earlier. And it was very concerning because, as we said in the video, it can be very dangerous when you tap into those different spiritual powers. So I showed it to my family, and my sister persuaded me to reach out to her again and send her a light video. So we prayed about it, and I sent her one of the videos on light about meditation, and it was about a girl who experienced the same thing that she was going through.
We prayed to God before we sent the video just to make sure that we're going by His will and not our own intentions. So we sent the video, and then that evening we prayed, and my mom and her family as well got together and they prayed for her as well, and friends and family. So we sent the video Thursday, and we still didn't get Thursday evening. We still didn't get any response all Friday. So Friday evening, we continued to pray, and then it wasn't until Saturday afternoon did we hear a response, and she responded back to Cleisha, and she said
she was really grateful that we were able to reach out and show her the history behind meditation, and she was just really grateful to us, and she was willing to meet and find out, just to discuss it and talk about it and to hear it from like a Christian point of view, which was really good news for us, and it was definitely an answer to prayers.
Yeah, so basically what you guys saw earlier was us meeting together. Right now we've met together twice, so it's been really good just to talk about, we do believe two different things, but it's just good to you know, share your belief and hear what someone else believes, and just get together and hang out as friends. So I hope from this video you guys learned a little bit from Naya's story about light language and the dangers. Tapping with spiritual warfare, it's a very dangerous thing and should not be tampered with. And if you are struggling with spiritual warfare, or you are deep in like meditation, please feel free to reach out to us on either Instagram or our Facebook page, or email if you like. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions concerning the topic that was discussed, you can feel free to leave a comment down below. And we hope to talk to you guys soon. So we'll talk next week.